All right, everybody, it's 9 o'clock. I'll call the technical committee meeting to order. Can I have a roll call, please?
Amy McLaren. Here. Jeff Gillis.
Here.
Cale Thompson. Paul Oxberger.
Here.
Dan Carr.
Here.
Conrad Moore.
Here.
Amy Kloffenstein. Paula Mendez.
Here.
Cy Maroon. Cindy Luz.
Here.
Simon Grimm. Josh Ray. Ty Livingston.
Here.
Brett Tucker.
Here.
Mark Lee.
Here.
Wayne Aldridge. Dustin Sutton. Dennis Carr. John Oliphant. Patrick Meyer. Daniel Korb.
Here.
Aaron Dvorsky. Kinga Kreider. Charles Hess. Craig Loudermilk. Josh Harkin.
Here.
LD Cheney. Kofi Kissa. Shammer Robinson. Eric Miller.
Here.
Ann Dubay.
Here.
Gene Olson.
All right, we have a quorum, public comment. We'll introduce, we have a new member here, Josh Harkin. Josh, you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. My name's Josh Harkin. I work for Fair Graham, replacing Dave Horton, representing the city of Chillicothe. Dave resigned from Fair Graham a couple months ago, so stepping in to fill that role.
Welcome.
All right,
Yep, thank you.
welcome. Next item, number 4, I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes from August 20th, 2025.
Gillis. Second.
Any comments or corrections? All in favor, say aye. Motion carries. Before we get into item 5, Michael's going to introduce an update on E-TIP.
Sure. Share our screen here.
Is that Simon Grimm that's on the call? Simon?
Yes.
Okay, he's from Pekin.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
So, welcome, Simon.
Thanks.
Okay, perfect. So just really fast before we go over the our transportation improvement program amendments, I wanted to bring you all attention that that we have been working with IDOT to convert our TIP into a electronic TIP database. Thank you, Brandon and Doug, for funding that for all the MPOs in our region in the state of Illinois. It's been a good process. We're working with the consultant Eco Interactive. They're the ones that are hosting CMAP's E-TIP. And so kind of all the MPOs in the state are going to be using the same platform. The project, we've been going through the process of importing all of our current projects in the E-TIP. That process has been completed, and so it is live now. So if you all are interested, you can access it on our website. Eventually, once staff gets a little bit more comfortable with it, we will share out a link to you all for you guys to create a user account, and that is what you would use to submit any kind of TIP amendments to us. So that should happen within the next month or so. But just to navigate to the public website, if you go on our website and click on our work, and then go to transportation and then all the way down to the transportation improvement program. And that will take you to our webpage that's dedicated to the TIP. And then kind of towards the bottom there's a section that goes over the E-TIP. And then that orange button right there is what you would click to access the electronic E-TIP. And then once you click that, it'll open up our kind of our platform. You have a welcome homepage that kind of goes over the tip and then what's in the tip and how to explore it. It also talks about our illustrative project lists. And then there's multiple tabs up on the right, up top there that you could click on. The projects tab is going to allow you to just kind of explore all the projects in our tip by within a table, and you can use the up top to kind of filter out down to any specific project you want. And then also, I think another notable thing here is there's also an interactive map that allows you to kind of explore the projects geographically. So this is a new software that we have that we're utilizing for our tip. So it's exciting. And so when you submit tip requests, you map it in the actual document or in the actual program. So so you'll notice also within our packet that our kind of summary of all our tip amendments are different. These summaries are a report that is out of the system that we're able to generate. So these kind of go over all the tip amendments that we have, and then also note that there is a handout, page 5 of the report in our packet. I had an error in the map. I selected the wrong bridge. So anyway, so I've corrected it here. So this has the correct bridge map now. So the only difference is just the map there. But I believe that's it. If there's any questions, like I said, we'll be sending out a link probably within the next month or so to allow you all access to be able to request tip amendments in the future. You can do it via online.
A weird question. How are non-boundaried projects displayed? Do they just not have a map, like a capital improvement for the transit district or a various sort of project for IDOT?
Yeah, so some of them that there is not really a specific geography, they're just not mapped. A lot of the transit ones, we just mapped CityLink's headquarters as the location. So if there's something logically that we can map, then we'll map it, but otherwise it's just not mapped, yeah.
Questions? Thank you, Michael. We have 12 tip amendments. If nobody has any objections, I'll take a motion to approve all 12, including S26-18, replacing what's in the packet.
So moved by McLaren.
Second by Los.
Okay, Michael, you want to
Yeah.
explain?
Perfect. So I'll go through these here relatively fast. So project S-25-10. This is a safety and traffic signal improvement project at the intersection of War Memorial Drive in Willow Knolls. The amendment is adding an additional federal funding source of NHPP for some items that are not eligible under the existing HSIP funding source. And then project S-26-15. It's an Illinois Route 6 pavement rehab project from north of the Illinois Route 29 to north of Illinois Route 40 in Peoria. This is a new project that's being added to the FY26 program that came out of the MYP. And then project S-26-16 is an Interstate 474 pavement preservation project from the Illinois River to Interstate 74 in Tazewell County. This is a new project being added to the FY26 program that came out of IDOT's MYP. Project S-26-17 on US Route 24/Illinois Route 29 pavement preservation project from south of Popular Street to north of Wesley Road in Creve Coeur. This is a new project being added to the FY26 program. Project S-26-18, and Illinois Route 40 Bridge Preservation Project for the structure carrying traffic over Interstate 74 to access the interstate entrance loop ramp to westbound Interstate 74 to downtown Peoria. This is the one that I mapped wrong. This is a new project being added to the FY26 program. For those, if you're having trouble thinking of where that's at, that's the exit in East Peoria that kind of takes you to the spur. So you'll be coming from the spur to go downtown. Okay. Project S-26-19 and Illinois Route 8 pavement rehab project from 0.7 miles east of Taylor Road to Interstate 474. This is a new project being added to the FY26 program. Project S-26-20, an Illinois Route 8 pavement rehab project from Taylor Road to Texas Road. This is a new project being added to the FY26 program. Project S-26-21, an Illinois Route 98 pavement rehab project from Illinois Route 29 to 0.2 miles east of Parkway Drive. Another new project being added to the FY26 program. Project S-26-22, US Business Route 24 pavement and bridge preservation project from US Route 24 to Illinois Route 8. This project is being added to the FY26 program. And then Project S-27-04, an Illinois Route 6 pavement rehab project from 0.7 miles north of Harris Pond to War Memorial Drive. This project is being moved from the FY27 program to the FY26 program. Project S-27-06, Illinois Route 6 pavement rehab project from War Memorial Drive to south of Interstate 74. This project is also being moved from the FY27 program to the FY26 program. And last but not least, an Illinois Route 116 pavement rehab from Griswold Street to Kickapoo Creek. And this project is being moved from the FY27 program to the FY26 program.
Michael, I noticed a lot of them are clearly IDOT projects on like Route 6 and 474, but it has jurisdiction of City of Peoria or City East Peoria. Is it just because it's in those limits? Because normally jurisdiction means who owns the road. So.
Yeah, so that's just so you can filter down to projects that are within their corporate limits.
Okay, that's what I figured, but just wanted to ask.
What constitutes a smart overlay? I see that for the Creek Court Hill project.
Smart overlay is just a single lift surface replacement, basically.
Perfect. I would not have been able to answer that.
Any other questions, comments? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Item 6, request update for updated BLR 17100 forms and maps for all federal and state funded projects on federally eligible routes. This yours, Michael?
Yes. So believe it or not, the NYP just got released, but IDOT is starting to develop their next year's NYP already. And also to kind of help with Tri-County maintaining our TIP, making sure everything is accurate and up to date. We're requesting updated information for all federal aid urban route projects within your jurisdiction. Like I mentioned, it'll be used to help ensure that our TIP stays up to date and accurate, and that we need to make any kind of amendments, we can get that scheduled for the TIP for our next technical meeting. And it also will be to assist IDOT in preparing their FY27 to 32 NYP. If you could just send me any kind of updates for all of your projects. Interested in knowing your current project phase. So is it still in the planning phase, PE1, PE2, right away, construction? any kind of anticipated letting date or completion date. If there's any scope or cost changes, if you can send me an updated BLR 17100 form with updated project maps, any noticeable issues, delays, or any coordinations that Tri-County can maybe help you with. And then also a list of projects that recently were completed or are nearing completion would be helpful as well. If possible, we ask if you give this to us by the end of the month, so October 31st. But if that's not possible, then there's room in that schedule.
IDOT usually asks for this also, usually in November or beginning of December. And usually they give us our allotments, our request allotments. And with the environment in Washington now, we don't know if it's going to go up, down, stay the same. Do we delay this a month until we know what our allotments are, and then we're not giving you a tip, and then a month from now,
Sure.
we've got a different allotment amount, then we have to redo it. So
And
that's just-
that is also totally fine. I talked to Al the other day, and I know they were getting stuff prepared to send out the letters. So if we need to delay until the letters get sent out with allotments, that's also perfectly understandable, because I want, correct information.
Right.
So, and when you do send those, if you just copy me on them, that would also just help to, you don't have to prepare multiple reports. Just copy me and I can grab what I need.
I mean, if this was a time pressing thing, you absolutely had to have it, then that's one thing, but I'd like to just do it once and make sure both places know the same thing.
Sure. Yeah, no, this is just based off my call from Al, because he's in the process. So if we want to wait and say, once you guys get your letters from IDOT, if you can just give me that information when you submit to IDOT, just copy me on it, that'd be great.
So for your purposes, do you need an updated BLR form, or you just need a paragraph about stuff unless we need to update the scope or cost?
I just want an update on your project. So if there's no changes to the BLR, if everything's to stay the same, I don't need an updated BLR form, just like an update on the project.
When they have access to the ETIP, would this sort of step go away so they can just update that information in the ETIP and would notify you?
Yes, we could do that. Yeah. So we could do an open plan revision and have you guys just update. Yeah. So next year it'll be
Yeah, right.
way more easier just to update in the ETIP system. Or depending on how long it takes for IDOT to get you those letters, maybe we'll do it this year. We'll see.
Michael, I assume you'll need something too for the projects that got announced.
Yeah, so when you do that, the new projects as well, and then we'll get those in the tip. I didn't include that in the tip amendment this go around because I assume you all need some time to get things figured out for your BLR forms.
So will those go in the tip even though it's all state funding?
Yeah, so technically, even if it's state funding, if it's regionally significant, it's supposed to be in the tip.
Okay.
So that's all I have. So we'll wait until IDOT sends you all the letters, and then when you respond to IDOT, if you could just respond to me. And then also, I don't believe IDOT will send you guys letters for the STPG or TA funding that Tri-County has programmed you all. They send us that letter. So if you make sure to include that information as well when you send to IDOT. So any STPG or transportation alternative or carbon reduction funding, if you could make sure you include updated information on that. And I can send out an email after this with a list of all those communities and projects that we've recently awarded within the last few years that are still active.
All right, thanks, Michael. Looks like we have Patrick Meyer online with us now, so hello, Patrick. Item 7, presentation on staff's current efforts in developing a bus accessibility plan. Gavin.
everybody. Some of you were at the Technical Advisory Committee meeting yesterday, and some of you were unable to make it, so you're either seeing this for the second time or you're not to see it anyway. Either way, congratulations. So what is the plan? The plan is a clear roadmap for amenity and accessibility enhancements for bus stops, intended to increase ridership and improve the quality of life for everybody, but especially those with disabilities. So it's kind of rooted in the idea that when we make enhancements, it benefits everyone. So who is involved? The riders, of course, our technical advisory committee, which I mentioned, and that's going to consist of local leaders and technical experts, the Greater Peoria Mass Transit District and East Peoria Mass Transit District, and of course us. So right now, we are on the select criteria phase, but we did finish the bus stop inventory. So selecting criteria consists of determining what factors should be applied to the bus stop data. For instance, ridership. If routes have high ridership, should they be prioritized or deprioritized? We're going to be looking at factors like zero vehicle households. If an area, specifically census tracts, has a high degree of zero vehicle households, they might be a little bit higher in that priority listing. So onto the bus stop inventory. We collected information on 887 unique stops. And the reason I say unique there is because when you count it all, it's about 1,200. And that 300 to 400 is actually duplicates because routes share some of the same stops. Information that we collected includes stop ID, route number, intersection, whether it had path, ramp, landing pad, benches, shelters, lighting, and trash cans. And the reason I divided it that way is because the first group is that basic information about the stop. The third one is accessibility. And that third one relates to the amenities that you might find there, which aren't mandated, but they do improve the quality of life for people using that stop, which is what we want to improve ridership. So as I said before, those criteria will be defined, and then we will end up with a list of 10 stops. Now, those aren't the only stops that will be prioritized, but they are the 10 most important ones, and they'll be displayed in the plan. On the back end, we'll be providing the full list of all the stops and by jurisdiction so that different communities can see the stops in their community and focus on those if they'd like to. And as part of the bus stop accessibility plan, I did develop some preliminary designs for what future bus stops could look like. The colors on the screen aren't really accurate. They are based on the city link routes that exist currently. And as you can see, it provides a little more information than the current bus stop, such as route number, route name, and transfers that you might see in the direction that it's traveling. I did pull this a little bit from the Chicago Transit Authority, just to kind of get an idea of what a bus stop could look like. So it's based on that. And I've been looking at a few different bus stop sign designs throughout the Illinois area and also outside of it. So why is this necessary? As many of you probably know, a lot of the infrastructure is outside of ADA compliance. But there's reasons, of course, that that's the case, such as funding. So what this plan does is it provides prioritization so that you can tackle this one bus stop at a time, or 10. So as I said before, it's not going to solve the problems. It doesn't provide any of the designing or engineering for the bus stops, but it does give an idea of the conditions that you see at bus stops throughout the city service area. And in their previous report, 2022, CityLink mentioned that a plan such as this one was incredibly necessary to improve their operations. As I said in the beginning, it should improve accessibility, it should improve the quality of life for everybody riding the bus. And the main targeted audience, I would say, of this plan is those who ride paratransit currently, but are conditionally eligible to ride fixed route. And one of the main issues for them is the infrastructure of the bus stops. So they may have chosen to ride paratransit instead of fixed route for one ramp or lack of a landing pad. So that allows them to make that transition and have more autonomy and independence, which is important for those communities. So I'm going to show you a couple different bus stops throughout the area that we saw, just some good examples. If you don't make a habit of looking at bus stops on your daily drives, this is a good way to see them. So on this first image is a picture of a ramp that's obstructed by a telephone pole. I'm sure we've seen a ton of these. That's something that takes it from ADA compliant to non-ADA compliant. And then the second one, it's technically ADA compliant. It has the landing pad, the sidewalk, and there's an attached ramp down the road with a crosswalk. But the bus stop is positioned parallel rather than perpendicular. So as you're traveling along the roadway, you're not able to see that it's a bus stop. And that's important, especially to prevent any kind of vehicle pedestrian collisions. And the third one is in Sunnyland. It's just an overgrown telephone pole. So you can't see that there's a bus stop sign. And this is an example of one of the better bus stops. This was recently installed, I believe, right, Michael, at the Holt Center. This is a good example. As you can see, it's pretty close to the Holt Center. So these are the kinds of stops that we want to prioritize, and is an easy way to end up at the top of the list because there's an obvious community served. This one is an example of a dangerous stop. There's no crosswalk, there's no clear path, there's no sidewalk infrastructure on that side of the road, and it's difficult to even know where the bus stop is located. But it's actually located on that pole if you're having trouble seeing. And I want to challenge you guys to tell me what's wrong with this stop based on anyone wants to just throw it out there. What makes this non-ADA compliant? No. Domes. You see domes?
Yeah.
Yeah, black truncated domes.
Oh, at the crosswalk. Because I mean, the buses like to be stop at a curb. They don't want to stop at a ramp, right?
Of course, of course.
So there's a crosswalk there and it's not properly.
So to that note, we included the adjacent infrastructure as part of the bus stop. So in order for a bus stop to be accessible, it has to have a path, which would be the sidewalk, the landing pad, the 5x8 stable, firm surface, and then finally the ramp at the end of that accessible route. So that
This is a dumb question. Does that apply to private property?
for bus stops, I mean, I would assume.
For any ADA things, if you're creating infrastructure on private property, it has to comply with all the rules.
Because it's considered a bus stop. But that's the tricky part of this is that bus stop locations can change simply by moving a sign. That's all it would take sometimes to change a bus stop. So here's another example of one of those dangerous bus stops. There's no crosswalk, there's no clear location. People might be traveling when they're let off at this stop. So yeah, that's the last one. Just want to leave you guys with some ideas of what kind of bus stops we're looking at out here in the city link service area. So if anyone has any questions.
Gavin, in the picture before this, is the center panel for the shelter also an issue for ADA compliance?
It is not. No, it just has to be wide enough for a wheelchair to use the navigate and stop it. So I don't believe the center panel is an issue. Was it? I don't know the exact measurements.
30 by 48 inches.
as long as it's 38 inch, or as long as it's 30 inches wide and 48 inches deep. Center panel.
Yeah, and there's a mixture of shelters. There's singular panel shelters, and then there's single entrance and dual entrance. Anyone have any questions? Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Gavin. Moving on to updates. IDOT is local roads here.
Yep.
Oh, yes. David.
All right. As previously talked about, number 6 on your agenda, we are going into our programming season. The letters are actually going to come to you, I believe, next week is where we're currently set on that. Don't quote me, but that is the current plan. We will need a 17100 for every project, even if it's already been submitted, mostly just because I want to see updated numbers. It lets us do better programming that way. And you can coordinate with Mike, as he previously said, to send those in with us. The MYP has been announced and is published. It's on our IDOT website. It includes highway and multimodal for FY26 through 31. And let's see. The NOFO stuff is in. It has been published. You have been awarded, if you already know, you've been awarded 2. 400 million was appropriated. The state received 5 billion in requests. We here in the district received about 10 million for 11 projects. 1,900 applications was the total number, so they had to weed that down. And yeah, that's all I got for today. Oh, one more thing. And all decisions were made on empirical data and tried to distribute as evenly as possible throughout the state. Thank you.
Is there a list of those projects available?
I believe it has been published on.
So you, in the MYP, there's one little link that says state projects. You gotta find that to click the link to get to the
What's that, page
actual
14?
list.
On page 9.
Page 9.
It's not, yes.
So it's a very nice spreadsheet.
Yeah, there's some that are paragraph. and
Then you gotta find that link to get to it. It's not
Here that they will get one.
actually.
The criteria is probably maybe just as important. Was that published in the multi-year plan, or is that just sort of out there?
I'm not actually sure if that was published or not.
Okay. We have a list of it. Is it okay that we send it out? Okay.
I think it was.
Oh, it's in the
based
NOFO.
on, project readiness, project completion, intent of economic outcome or something of that nature. I'm probably butchering those words. And some other content of that nature with money feasibility for each person's life.
Yeah, off the top of my head, City of Peoria for Wisconsin, thank you, yes. And then we have Peoria County for Sterling.
Sheridan.
Or Sheridan, oh yes, thank you. See, I can't even get them all right. Yeah, we have Tazewell for Broadway. And then Woodford's out of our MYP or MPO.
It's not in the boundary, but
Yeah. And
in
then
Roanoke.
Roanoke, yeah. And then Chillicothe got a bike trail.
Syracuse.
That's it.
So 10 million out of 400 million.
That number, ours was 10 million oil.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's
It's more,
23, yeah.
Okay.
They got 10, 7.
So congratulations to everybody
Yes.
that was awarded.
All right, central office.
Just a reminder that if you haven't done so already, our performance measure 1 safety targets were sent out. So if you haven't yet, then you need to take action on that within 6 months. So around about February timeframe. And then also next week, starting Wednesday, going through Friday, will be our Illinois DOT Fall Planning Conference, and it's being held in the Quad Cities. think right now they are maxed out with registrations. So if you're still planning to come in, they can put you on a wait list if you want to register. That's all I've got.
Okay. Federal Highway, I don't believe anyone's.
They're shut down. Is there any sort of guidance about if the shutdown continues, if there's any impacts to transportation?
There shouldn't be. They're funded through IDJA, which is at least through next year. So they should be okay. Assuming it doesn't lag that long.
Just checking.
Okay, other, next meeting is November 19th. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
That was exciting.